मत करना। दिखाना दिखाना, पता चले गर्म हो गया। अभी टेप लगाया होगा।
Hi, good afternoon. In this class, we are going to discuss the topic regarding cancer. Recently, there was a report related to it that declared India as a cancer capital. India, the cancer capital of the world. So today we will discuss about this topic, the India as a cancer capital of the world. Specifically, in this topic, we are looking toward regarding the cancer, exactly what the cancer is, how it spreads in your body, and different kind of the cancer, which type of the question can be framed on this topic, type of DNA we will look at it, and also we will see the any previous year question on this topic has been asked in the UPSC Prelims specifically. Different kind of the method that used for the treatment of the cancer, why there is a continuously increase in the burden of cancer in the Indian population as compared to the other population in the world. So we will look out the complete idea about the cancer. So let's start with the basic discussion. According to the report recently released by the Apollo Healthcare, they declared that there is a continuously increase in the number of the cancer patient in India. And the data given by the Apollo Healthcare is 100 per 1 lakh population. Means 100 people in 1 lakh population is suffered from cancer in India. This is a huge number because the population of India is approximately 1.4 billion. So it's going to be a huge number. But if we are comparing with the world के साथ compare करते हैं, in the case of Ireland, in the case of Belgium, in the case of USA, India is having the less number of cases per lakh population when we are comparing with these countries. For an example, the USA is having more than 300 patients in the per lakh population. So why then the India is the cancer capital? According to data, it should be the USA. The population of the USA is very small as compared to the Indian population. So the number of the cancer patient in India is more than the number of cancer patient in the world. So why there is a continuously increase in the cancer patient in India? अचानक से ऐसा क्या हुआ कि इंडिया में कैंसर के पेशेंट पिछले 10 से 15 सालों में ज्यादा इंक्रीज होना शुरू हुए? There is a linkage with it. The study also tells us about that in India, 1/3 of the population, 1/3 of the population of India is pre-diabetic. The 1/3 of the population of India is pre-diabetic. Means every 3% in 10% having the pre-diabetic symptoms, when that is going toward the diabetic if you are not controlling at the same stage. The next data is saying that 2/3 of the population having the pre-hypertensive system. Pre-hypertensive system means that it lead to the increasing in the cases of the hypertension. Hypertension means increase in the blood pressure. आप लोग भी देख रहे हो कि आजकल बीपी की प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत ज्यादा है. That lead to the फ्यूचर कॉन्टेक्स्ट की प्री हाइपरटेंशन के केसेस बहुत ज्यादा है pre-diabetic cases are continuously increasing. And the third data by the same study about Apollo Healthcare, they're saying that increase in the stress level 1 in the 10% in the age group of 30 to 40 years and 2 among 10% in the age group of 15 to 25 years. Increase in the pre-diabetic cases, pre-hypertensive cases, increase in the cases of stress among the youth. And the major concern is here youth, the increase in the cases among the youth. So this lead to the epidemiological, the terms used here is the epidemiological, logical transition. How these diseases lead to the transition in the form of cancer. These are the base of it. The continuation of these diseases are the base of it, and it lead to the finally the cancer in the human. These are known as the epidemiological transition. This is a technical word, epidemiological transition. So increase in the number of the cases of the diabetes, increase in the number of cases of the hypertension, increase in the number of the cases of the stress. Depression. किसी से भी पूछोगे तो मुझे स्ट्रेस है, किस चीज का स्ट्रेस है, मुझे डिप्रेशन है. The keywords we are using in our day-to-day life, but we are not focusing on these keywords. What does it mean actually? Depression क्या है? Stress, diabetes, hypertension. These are the now more common words in the market that we are using in our day-to-day life. And there is another data about the non-communicable disease. Non-communicable disease, NCD बोला जाता है, as the cancer is also a non-communicable disease. Cancer, the disease, heart disease, diabetes. These are the kind of the non-communicable disease. These are the kind of the non-communicable disease. According to the data, every year there is 1 million death. Every year there is 1 million death due to the non-communicable disease in the country. And this is a huge number. I mean 10 लाख लोगों का डेथ हो जा रहा है due to the non-communicable disease. So what is the non-communicable disease exactly? These are diseases which affect the human body for the longer time, having the environmental, physiological and the genetic impact on the human body. These diseases are not transferring from one person to the another person. This may be due to your lifestyle. It may be due to your eating habits. So these are diseases which cannot transfer from the person to person, but these are impacting the human body continuously. So these diseases are known as the NCD, non-communicable diseases. So this is a basic idea about the reports, exactly what the report was saying. What was a major concern in India? In India, the report is showing that cancer is increasing in the younger population. There is data related to it. In India, the average age in which the cancer is predominant is 59 years. In the age of the 59, the cancer is predominant in this population. But in the USA, we are talking in the USA, this age is increasing 70 above 70 years. USA में यही 70 साल से ऊपर के लोगों को हो रहा है. So this is also the concern is now this is going downward in the range of 50 to 59 years. That is also a cause of concern in the case of India. The report also reveals that it's an interesting fact. ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड में हम बात करते हैं, then the man is having the more cancer cases than women. All over the world, this data is almost 25% higher than women in the world at the global level. At the global level, global level पे जो cases हैं specifically related to the cancer, men having the higher cases, that is more than 25% high than the woman. But as in the case of India, ये data is the shockable data. In India, woman is having the higher cases of cancer than the men, opposite to the global data. Prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, cervix cancer, colonal rectal cancer. These are the kind of the cancer which is primarily affecting the women in the India. Colonal cancer, breast cancer, uterus cancer, cervix cancer. These are the kind of the cancer that impacting women in India. If the woman is suffer from the cancer in a country more than a man, so we can imagine the situation in the future. अभी रिसेंट में एक न्यूज थी, देयर वाज अ न्यूज related to the prostate cancer. Prostate is a gland in the human body, and that's the cancer of that gland, prostate cancer. There's a model, the name is the Poonam Pandey. There was a news in the social media, she died because of the prostate cancer, but that was a fake news. That was a fake news कि Poonam Pandey died because of the prostate cancer. But this kind of the talk in the social media is having a good amount of number related to it. That is due to the कि उनको TRP चाहिए था, that shows the कि मैं मर जाती हूँ due to the prostate cancer. तो बाद में न्यूज आने लगी कि इंडियन गवर्नमेंट इनको एज एम्बेसडर बनाने वाली है related to the prostate cancer के बारे में. But in India, more than 30,000 to the 40,000 death yearly due to the prostate cancer. प्रोस्टेट कैंसर की वजह से इंडिया में जो डेथ रेट है 30,000 to the 40,000 of the women are dying due to the prostate cancer. And in 2040, this data is going to be double, near about 80,000 per year. Near about 80,000 per year. So this is the condition of the country related to the different kind of the diseases. Specifically, today we are discussing regarding the cancer. We will also discuss about the reason, क्यों इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है cancer, what the reason behind it, what we can done, and the program by the government of India. We will also discuss in the today class itself. So let's understand how cancer spread in the human body. What exactly is the cancer? Is cancer है क्या? ठीक है, तो ये हम सारी चीजें अभी देखते हैं. What exactly the cancer is? For the prelims perspective, for the means perspective, you should know what the cancer is, how it's spread into the human body. As a basic unit of life in the human is cell. Cell is the basic unit. Let's consider this is a cell having the nucleus and different kind of the bodies in it. In the normal human beings, these cells continuously dividing. These cells are continuously dividing. Again, then these cells will divide. But after a time, when these cell having a particular amount of time की grow कर लिया है, they start converting into the dead cells. ये dead cells में convert होना start हो जाती हैं after a particular time of the periods. Then the new cell formed from these dead cells, नया cell बनना शुरू हो जाता है. Then these new cell again start dividing continuously. This is a basic process in a mammals, or the basic process in the humans, where how the cells multiply into the body and how they are dividing into the body. But what's in the case of the cancer? If I'm talking about cancer, these cells start continuously dividing. These cells start dividing continuously. Then there is no death of cell. कोई cell की death भी नहीं हो रही उस केस में. At a particular place in the human body, these cells start dividing continuously, and they forming a cell mass in the human body. एक cell mass बना लेते हैं human body में after the dividing the multiple times. Dividing the multiple time, they form a cell mass. It's basically the human cell that start dividing due to the genetic changes. It may be start dividing due to the physiological changes, or maybe due to the environmental impact. Means जिस area में आप काम कर रहे हैं, if you are working in a radioactive factory, if you are working in the area asbestos factory में आप काम कर रहे हैं, that may in the longer term lead to the change in the cell case, and they start dividing continuously. That continuously dividing of the cells creating a cell mass. Now this cell mass can be of the two type. One is named as the benign, B-N-I-G-N, and second is known as the cancerous. One type is known as the benign tumor, and the cancerous tumor. ट्यूमर के बारे में आप सब लोगों ने सुना होगा, ठीक है. तो वन इज द benign tumor and the second is the cancerous tumor. In the case of the benign tumor, when these cells continuously divide and form a group of cell, एक सेल का थक्का बना लेते हैं, in that case this cell have only at one place, ये कहीं ट्रेवल नहीं कर रहे हैं, and they sticking at a one place. आपकी बॉडी में एक पार्टिकुलर जगह पे एक सेल का गुच्छा बन जाता है और वो मूवमेंट नहीं कर रहा है. That having at only the one place and also not impacting any other cell, किसी सेल को भी इंपैक्ट नहीं कर रहा है, and also having only at the one place. So this kind of the tumor is known as the benign tumor, that is not affecting another organ, that is not traveling into your body and having only at the one place. This is known as the benign tumor. The second type and the most dangerous type is the cancerous tumor. Cancerous, as from the name suggested. This tumor will cause cancer in your cell, cancer in your body. After formation of this group of the cell, they start traveling in your body at the multiple places, maybe in blood, that is known as leukemia, maybe in your lymphatic system, that is known as the lymphomas. So these are the kind of the area where start reaching in your different organ of the body and affecting the different area. Maybe they affect your brains, that's known as the brain tumor. Maybe they affect your bone, that is related to your cartilage. That maybe affect your blood, that's a blood tumor, blood cancer जिसको बोलते हैं. So let's see how it spreads into the human body. There is a diagram of it, how it is spreading into the human body. If we look at this diagram, अभी तक हमने एक बेसिक लेवल पे देखा how the tumor cell formed when the cells start continuously dividing due to the genetically change, physiological change, environmental change, that having the change in the cells that start continuously dividing, and that dividing of that start continuously, they form a group of cell. That group of cell is known as a tumor. That can be of the two kind, one is the benign tumor and the second is the cancerous tumor. The benign tumor is a tumor which stick at the one place and are not traveling into the human body and having at the one place and not impacting the any other portion of the human body. But in the case of the cancerous, they start traveling in your body and affecting the other part of the human body, that is known as the cancerous tumor. So let's go the stepwise. We are here. The cancer cell, जब एक tumor cells बन गई हैं, these are named as the cancer cell. Now these cancer cells start entering in your blood arteries. आपके blood में flow करना शुरू करेंगे. This is known as the intravasation. Intravasation means going inside your blood cells. They start entering into your blood cells in the form of the cancerous cell. And in the third step, they start circulating in your lymphatic system. They start circulating in your blood system. After the third stage, there is a stage is known as the pre-metastatic stage. Known as the pre-metastatic stage. There is a term used specifically is known as the metastasis. There is a term known as the metastasis. This is known as the advanced case of the cancer, advanced stage of the cancer. When the cancer cell formed and start traveling into the human body, then these start affecting the particular organs of the human body, and that stage when the cancer cells start affecting the human body and traveling to the another portion of the body is known as the metastasis. It is known as the metastasis. This is the key word that is very important for your prelims examination. What is metastasis? This is important for your prelims examination. So write down the definition of metastasis. That is a benign के स्टेज में जब एक सेल मास बनना शुरू हुआ है, this is the first stage of the cancer. तो डायग्नोसिस में आ जाएगा कि they are having the group of cell but it's not spread till now to the other part of the body. That is the first stage of the cancer. नहीं, दोनों टाइप के सेल्स obviously होते हैं. Like if the depend on the infection rate, how the cell is infected into the human body. If the infection is less, the sometime that stop dividing after some time. जब डिवीजन बंद हो जाएगा एक कुछ टाइम के बाद, तो स्टार्ट फॉर्मेशन ऑफ अ ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स and that group of cell will be at the any part of your body. That is the first stage of the cell. If that start continuously dividing again, that is lead to the cancerous cell, otherwise it's a benign tumor. Tumor means that can be easily removed from the body through the surgery. Yes, yes. एनवायरमेंटल जेनेटिकल चेंजेस की वजह से हो सकता है, इसीलिए नॉन कम्युनिकेबल डिजीज भी बोला जाता है. इट्स नॉट स्प्रेडिंग फ्रॉम वन जनरेशन टू द अनदर. It is we are getting from the environment, we are getting from our physical activities, we are getting from our eating habits. उसकी वजह से ही कैंसर स्प्रेड होता है. Sir, a benign tumor will convert into cancerous tumor? Yes, it can be converted if the cell of the benign tumor start dividing again continuously. That will lead to the cancerous tumor. But in the most of the cases, it's seen that after the cell stopping in the particular area, they become a thick cell and they are not dividing continuously. उसके बाद उनको benign tumor बोला जाता है. Maybe in the another portion of your body, the cells are continuously dividing. वहां पे cancerous tumor हो सकता है. Okay, clear till now? So metastasis के बारे में लिखे. It's important for your prelims examination. Metastasis. The spread of cancer cell, the spread of cancer cell from the place, the spread of cancer cell from the place where they first formed, to the another part of the body, another part of the body. In metastasis, cancer cells break away from the original primary tumor. Break away from the original primary tumor means from the first stage of the cell they start spreading into your body. तो ये हर एक organ में travel करना शुरू करेगा. The first stage, the cancer cell invasion, जो एक thick cell mass बना है, this one, it is invasioning in your blood streams, in your blood vessels. After the intervasitions, they start circulating in your body, the cell circulation. Then the metastatic stage, they start entering into the different organs, maybe into the bone, maybe into the liver, maybe into the lungs, and maybe into the brain. And the name given differently, the brain tumor, lung cancer, liver cancer, osteoporosis, bone cancer. So accordingly, they are giving the name, and this is known as the metastatic cascade. Cascade is the group of reaction that is continuously impacting your body. So this is how the cancer spread in any human body. Clear till now? Any doubts? Shivani, Pratibha, Divgraha. This is known as the metastasis. Now, there is a different kind of the cancer. There are different kind of the cancer. The one is known as the carcinomas. Second is known as the sarcomas. Third is leukemias. And fourth is known as the lymphomas. Fourth is known as the lymphomas. So these are the four type of the cancer. One is the carcinomas. Second is the sarcomas. Third is the leukemias. Fourth is the lymphomas. These type of the cancer divides according to their presence in the human body. Which part of the human body they are impacting specifically? If they are impacting your breast, your lungs, that is known as the carcinoma. That's a major kind of cancer in the humans. This carcinomas affecting the skin, affecting the tissue that cover the surface of the internal organs. Examples are the prostate cancer, breast cancer. Examples are prostate, breast cancer, lung cancer. These are the example of carcinomas. Means these are the major kind of the cancer that affect the surface of internal organs, that affect the glands specifically, and it's a solid kind of tumor जहाँ पे सेल का ग्रुप बहुत बड़ा होता है and affect the major area of the organ, जिससे organ damage होने के chances ज़्यादा रहते हैं. That is known as the carcinomas. Maybe there is another kind of the question in the prelims. Match the following pairs. Match the following pairs. Carcinomas, sarcomas, leukemias and lymphomas affecting the which part of the human body? इस तरीके से क्वेश्चन इजीली पूछा जा सकता है. Now come to the second type, the sarcomas. Means it will affect the connecting tissue of the body. It will affect the connecting tissue of the body. It will affect joints. It will affect blood vessels. It will affect your nerve system. It will affect your cartilage. It will affect your bone. Means it is affecting the connecting tissue of the body. If in the scientific term I will say, the sarcomas is affecting the connecting tissue of the body that connect the multiple organs, develop in the fat, muscles, nerves, joints and the blood vessels. So how it is different from the carcinomas? Carcinomas is particularly affecting the organ of the body. Organs like the prostate glands, lung cancer, liver cancer, that's affecting the particular organs. But here it is affecting the tissue that's connecting, nerve tissue, blood vessels, joints, tendons. This is known as the sarcomas. This is the second kind of the cancer and it is known as the sarcomas. I hope this is clear till now. नहीं, lymphomas mean that's कंप्लीटली लिम्फेटिक सिस्टम को अफेक्ट करेगा. यहाँ पे एक उसके जॉइंट जो कनेक्टिंग एरिया है वहां पे इंपैक्ट करेगा, ठीक है। नाउ कम टू द थर्ड वन, द ल्यूकेमिया। ल्यूकेमिया स्पेसिफिकली हैविंग द आइडिया, ल्यूकेमिया ब्लड कैंसर को बोला जाता है। द कैंसर ऑफ ब्लड, द कैंसर ऑफ ब्लड is known as leukemia. It's affecting the body because the blood is circulating in the complete body. If any person is suffering from the blood cancer, that's impossible to survive in the till now condition. There is no cure except the chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and the immunotherapy, the kind of therapy. We will discuss these as well. So the acute lymphomatic leukemia, chronic, and the myeloid and the chronic myeloid leukemia. So how it's affecting the blood cells. So this is known as the leukemia. This is also called as a blood cancer. So this is the third type. First was the carcinomas, second is the sarcomas, third is the leukemias. Now the fourth and the last, the lymphomas. Lymphomas specifically, it's affect your lymphatic system, the network of vessels and the glands. The network of vessels and the glands. It's affect the lymphatic system of the human body. This is known as the lymphomas. So these were the four kind of the tumor or the cancer: carcinomas, sarcomas, leukemias, and lymphomas. So this can also be a question in your prelims. Now we discussed already about what the cancer is, the data of the cancer in India, the type of cancer, and how the cancer spreads in the human body. Now we need to be look at what are the reason behind the cancer spread. क्यों इतना बढ़ रहा है इंडिया में? What's the major reason behind it? So let's see the reason behind the cancer. Regions. The first region, the consumption of alcohol and smoking. First region, the major region, consumption of alcohol and smoking. Anybody having the idea? लिकर की बोतल पे लिखा होता है इट्स कोज कैंसर, लाइक सिगरेट बॉक्स पे लिखा होता है स्पेसिफिकली इट विल कोज कैंसर, लंग कैंसर स्पेसिफिकली, एक फोटो भी बना होता है। अल्कोहल की बोतल्स पे लिखा होता है, एनी आइडिया, एनीबडी? On the bottle of alcohol, it is written as injurious to health. एक यही लिखा होता है टर्म, injurious to health. But nowhere it is mentioning it will cause cancer. But it is the one of the major reason in the country due to the smoking and due to the consumption of the alcohol, it leads to the cancer in the humans. So this is the major idea यहाँ पे 37% of the cancer death. The 37% of cancer death in India due to this reason, consumption of alcohol and the smoking. The second is obesity, मोटापा. Obesity. Everyone is loving pizza, burger, चाउमीन, कुछ भी बाहर का आइटम मिल जाए, फ्राइड आइटम मिल जाए, फैटी आइटम मिल जाए. These items lead to the obesity in the human being. If you are eating a food which is having the very less fiber, which having the high fat amount, that is dangerous to your health. It's lead to the obesity, and obesity finally lead to the cancer. So in India के केस में देखेंगे तो 95%, if I'm not wrong, the 90% of women and 80% of men, where the ratio of waist to hips means obesity is higher in the 90% of women suffering कर रही हैं उससे, और 80% of the men are suffering from it. So we can have an idea, अगर आप रोड पे भी जाते हो तो कितने लोगों में आपको दिखेगा कि they are having a good health, having a proper physical fitness. Most of you will see the obese person जहां पे body mass index more than 25-24 है, BMI. That is also a region of cancer in the country. The second is the obesity. Obesity incidence increased from 9% in 2016. The obesity incidence was 9% in 2016. It increased to 20% in 2020. A huge jump. 9% से 20% of the cancer cases due to the obesity in the year 2016 to 2020.
तो जो कुछ डेटा है 90% 80% का, तो ये बता रहा है कि जो कैंसर के टोटल केसेस है उसमें 90% लोग ओबेस हैं.
Overall cases is not related to the cancer. It is a data of obesity.
Only
Obesity data. Yes. Cancer data is this one. Obesity lead to 9% cases of the cancer in 2016, which increased to 20% of the cancer cases in 2020. 9% से 20% कैंसर केसेस इंक्रीज हुए ड्यू टू द ओबेसिटी. थर्ड पे आते हैं स्पेसिफिकली द अनहेल्दी डाइट. ओबेसिटी जिसका रीजन भी एक, आप फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज नहीं करते, अनहेल्दी डाइट खाते. द थर्ड इज द अनहेल्दी डाइट. In unhealthy diet, that is the high in fat, less in fiber, very high protein diet, very high consumption of red meat, very high intake of salt continuously. These are also the region of cancer. Consumption of red meat, very high protein diet, the diet which is having the high amount of fat, less amount of fiber, very high consumption of the salt in the longer run. It also lead to the cancer, and this is the one of the major cause in India specifically that leads to the cancer. Yes, लाइफस्टाइल वो ओबीज में आ जाएगा. अगर आप लाइफस्टाइल की बात करोगे, फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, you are not doing any physical activity, you are eating and sleeping continuously, you are not focusing on your health, that lead to the obesity in the humans. Yes. रनिंग नहीं रहा है, we are using the vehicles for everywhere. इस तरीके से हम एक डायरेक्टली मेंशन कर सकते हैं और इनडायरेक्टली मेंशन कर सकते हैं रिलेटेड टू द ओबेसिटी. बट रिलेटेड टू द ईटिंग हैबिट्स, द अनहेल्दी डाइट्स, दीज आर द फ्यू एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द अनहेल्दी डाइट्स. Obviously, that's a high protein diets. If they are taking very high, एक limited amount में, that is tolerable by the human body, that is good for the health, that is not going to cause anything. But if we are taking in the excess amount, कि मुझे जल्दी बॉडी बनाने 3 महीने में, I am taking the excess amount of the protein continuously, because my system, the alimentary canal, the digestion system have a limit to digest. After crossing that limit, it's not able to digest the amount that we are eating, so it's going to impact our body there. Next case में आते हैं stress. The next point is stress. ये आप लोगों को क्लियर ही होगा, you are preparing for the UPSC. In the case of the stress, in the each field, if we are working, the IT field में आप काम कर रहे हैं, education sector में आप काम कर रहे हैं, if you are working as a laborer, if you are reading, if you are preparing for any examination, stress is the major factor now. स्ट्रेस हर जगह ही है, या इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फ्रॉम एनी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम, यू आर वर्किंग इन एनी कंपनी, इवन इन योर मैरिड लाइफ. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मैरिड लाइफ की वजह से कैंसर होता है, बट दीज आर द स्ट्रेस रीजन्स. So according to the Apollo Health study, Apollo Healthcare Group study, the stress is also a concern for the increasing the number of the cancer cases at the primary level. So in the case of the stress, depression is the highest in the range of 18 to 25 years of the age. 18 से 25 साल की एज में सबसे ज्यादा डिप्रेशन के केसेस देखे गए हैं. The age in which the young generation prepare for the government jobs in India, prepare for the IT, JEE, NEET, preparing for the UPSC, CSE, SSC, banking sector. The mostly age group is in between 18 to 25 or maximum up to 30 to 32. So stress is also the reason 80% of the adults and the senior reported the significant high level of the stress. 80% लोगों में 25 से 30 साल की एज में, in the age group of 25 to 30, it is reported that the high amount of stress 80% लोगों में रिपोर्ट हुआ. This is according to the Apollo Healthcare and the Lancet study. So stress, again the major reason. So we discussed about alcohol as well as the smoking. The second is the obese. The third is the stress level. Eating habits. These are the major concern of the cancer in the country. Maximum also you can look at the infection. If you are sexually transmitted disease के through हो जाए, hepatitis के through हो जाए, oral health care, if you are not maintaining your oral health care, that can also lead to it. If you are continuously exposure to the sunlight, continuously exposure to the heat, there is a case in the Kashmir में क्या होता है, ड्यूरिंग द विंटर टाइम वो अपने सारे गर्म करने की, उसको सिगड़ी बोलते हैं स्पेसिफिकली, वो अपने साथ ही अटैच करके रहते हैं, कंबल के अंदर पहने रहते हैं. दैट इज अ कंटिन्यूसली टच टू देयर बॉडी, उनकी स्किन को कंटिन्यूसली टच करे रहता है. इट्स अ लॉन्गर टाइम पीरियड ऑफ द इन अ ईयर, क्योंकि हमेशा ही टेम्परेचर एक पार्टिकुलर डाउन तक ही रहता है. उससे देखा गया कि दोज पीपल हु आर इन द कंटिन्यूसली टचिंग ऑफ दैट इक्विपमेंट्स, दे आर हैविंग द कैंसर इन द लॉन्गर रन. कि अगर आप हीट के एक्सपोजर में कंटिन्यूसली हैं फॉर लॉन्ग टाइम, एक दिन में 10 से 12 घंटे आप एक्सपोजर में हैं, दैट इज इंपैक्टिंग योर हेल्थ, दैट इज इंपैक्टिंग द स्किन डायरेक्टली, दैट लीड टू द कैंसर. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि कैंसर सिर्फ सिगरेट पीने वाले को ही हो रहा है. इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन द एस्बेस्टोस फैक्ट्री, दैट कैन मे बी द फाइनल लीड टू द लंग कैंसर, और एस्बेस्टोसिस भी हो सकता है. यस यस यस, लेबर ग्रुप इज ऑल्सो ऑक्यूपेशनल हैजर्ड्स, जहां पे hazards like the asbestos, बेंजीन, केमिकल फैक्ट्री में आप काम करते हैं, ऑर्गेनिक पोल्यूटेंट है बेंजीन. इसके साथ साथ रेडोन. दीज आर द काइंड ऑफ द ऑक्यूपेशनल हैजर्ड्स. occupational hazards that can also lead to the cancer. Asbestos, benzene, radon, if you are exposing to these chemical components, they can also lead to the cancer. डाइट के साथ साथ आपका वर्किंग शेड्यूल, वेयर यू आर वर्किंग, योर फिजिकल स्टेचर, योर हेल्दी डाइट, नो स्मोकर, नो एल्कोहल ड्रिंकर, नो स्ट्रेस लेवल, दैट इज अ मीन्स एक ऐसी कंडीशन कि जहां पे हर चीज न्यूट्रल है. आप एक भक्त की तरह, एक हर अच्छे इंसान की तरह, जो पॉसिबल नहीं है आज के टाइम में. यू आर वर्किंग, यू आर नॉट ड्रिंकिंग एल्कोहल, यू आर नॉट स्मोकिंग, no alcohol, no smoking, healthy diet means no maximum eating of outside food, working place, stress level, इन सब चीजों को कंट्रोल करना होगा. तो इन चीजों को कंट्रोल करना इज नॉट इन द एवरीवन हैंड. देयर आर सम सिचुएशंस दे नीड टू डील इट विद इट, बट वी कैन कंट्रोल द फ्यू ऑफ देम, लाइक द कंजप्शन ऑफ अल्कोहल, कंजप्शन ऑफ cigarettes, consumption of smoke. that is a major concern. Other concern related to the woman, that is the lead to the breast cancer, that may lead to the cervical cancer. We need to be focused on those kinds of the methods, how they are focusing on, because in India the women are more suffer than the cancer than the men. So this is the condition in the country. Let's see a question that was asked in the UPSC 2019. Yes, the organic pollutants जो हैं, that can also be found into the air. They finally lead to the cancer. If you're, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप 6 महीने रहे हो, 2 महीने रहे हो, 1 साल रहे हो, that lead to the cancer. If you're continually exposing for the next 10 years, continuously in the exposure for the next 15 years. Yes. Yes, there is a study also. The people who are living in the Delhi NCR, they're having the lifespan of 10 to 12 years as compared to the person who are living in the another area. So let's see the question. This question was asked in the UPSC 2019. We need to also see that which kind of the question can be framed from this kind of the topic. The question was, RNA interference technology has gained popularity in the last few years. Why? It is used in developing the gene silencing therapy. Gene silencing therapy can be used in developing therapy for treatment of cancer. यहाँ पे cancer से link किया उन्होंने. Hormone replacement therapy, this is not a right statement. RNA interference technology is not usable in the hormone replacement therapy. It can be used to produce crop plants that are resistant to the viral pathogen. Yes, it can be used. So the answer 1, 2 and the 4. So answer will be A here. Answer will be A here in this case. So RNA interference technology को link करके पूछा गया cancer से specifically in the 2019. In 2023, there was a question related to the microsatellite DNA. Microsatellite DNA. ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था. Microsatellite DNA क्या होता है? That's a kind of, we can also relate to it. This is the DNA which is present in the joint of the chromosomes. Chromosomes के बीच में present होता है. That was the answer of the microsatellite DNA. In the cancer, there is a kind of DNA is known as the chimeric DNA. DNA का type है. This is known as the chimeric DNA. This is important for your this prelims or the next prelims. Chimeric DNA है क्या? It is the recombinant DNA molecules or the hybrid DNA that carry DNA segments from the other sources. It is the mix of DNA from the two different organisms. Means there are the two organisms differently, and this is a hybrid of the two organisms. DNA that is the mix of the two organisms is known as the chimeric DNA. How this can be formed? This can only be formed with the help of the gene technology. This can only be with the formed with the RC-PCR, polymerization chain reaction, gene technology, biotechnology के through we can form the chimeric DNA. So this is an important part. The kind of the question can be framed from this topic, the chimeric DNA पूछा जा सकता. If we are coming to the next part of this topic, we specifically focused on the causes of the cancer. अभी तक हमने देखा what cancer is, how it's affecting the human body, how it's traveling into the human body, the type of cancer, then the factor that affecting the cancer, the date of the cancer. We looked at these 6 dimensions till now. We also done the question related to what's the chimeric DNA, the DNA from the two sources. We also looked at the microsatellite DNA. The DNA present on the chromosomes is known as the microsatellite DNA. The question on the RNA interference, where the double-stranded RNA is used to treat any disease or used to treat any kind of the issue in the human body. That's the RNA interference. It's a technology. RNA interference technology जहाँ पे double-stranded RNA होता है. Now we need to be look at what can be the prevention of it. कैसे बचाया जा सकता है? Everybody know about these 3 therapy: immunotherapy, second is the chemotherapy, and third is the radiotherapy. These are the
रिजल्ट्स का वो कैंसर का में यूज ऑफ प्लास्टिक भी तो यूज ऑफ प्लास्टिक में जो सुनते हैं यूज ऑफ प्लास्टिक
माइक्रोप्लास्टिक की बात हो रही, माइक्रोप्लास्टिक का कंजम्पशन की वजह से दैट कैन आल्सो बी अ रीजन.
तो बोलते हैं जो पैकेट फूड आइटम जो होते हैं उनको जो माइक्रोवेव करते हैं तो उससे
उस वाले पैकेट्स में नहीं करना चाहिए. स्पेसिफिकली वी नीड टू यूज द स्पेसिफिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स, स्पेसिफिक यूटेंसिल्स दैट आर मेड फॉर द माइक्रोवेव. और वी शुड एग्जैक्टली अवॉइड टू ईट द पैकेज फूड, जो पॉसिबल नहीं है आज के टाइम में, लेकिन वी शुड अवॉइड दैट. So the immunotherapy, chemotherapy and the radiotherapy, everybody know about it. The immunotherapy, the therapy which start working through the immune system of the human body. यहां लिख लेते हैं. Through the immune system, maybe through the B cells and T cells. These are the white blood cells through which we can get a treatment of the cancer. Second treatment is the radiotherapy. अब आप लोगों को सबको पता होगा, through the radiations, through the different kind of the radiations, we start to killing the cancer cells in the human body, and it's also impacting the humans. किसी के ब्रेन में कैंसर है, वी आर यूजिंग द रेडियोथेरेपी दैट्स लीडिंग टू द किलिंग द गुड सेल्स आल्सो. तो इसमें सबसे बड़ा इश्यू, इट्स आल्सो लीड टू द हेल्दी सेल्स, नॉट ओनली द कैंसेरियस सेल. तो रेडियोथेरेपी में आपकी हेल्दी सेल्स पे भी इफेक्ट होता है. नेक्स्ट इज द कीमोथेरेपी. दिस मोस्ट फेमस थेरेपी यूजिंग द केमिकल कंपोनेंट्स एंड द रेडिएशंस. Chemotherapy by usage of the chemical components and the different kind of the radiations. These are three common methods. But recently, the guys in the IIT Bombay, they discovered a new kind of the therapy for it, and it's a miracle. We can say that. The name is the CAR T cell therapy. सुना भी होगा if you are reading the newspaper. CAR T cell therapy. Here the CAR C is the chimeric, जो मैंने आपको डीएनए के बारे में बात बताई, how it's linked with the cancer. Chimeric is the chimeric DNA, that is the DNA of the two organisms, combined DNA of two organisms, or the made from the we can say that the biotechnology process. A is the antigen. हाँ, this is approved. This is approved in India. Yes, ICMR के through it. This is approved therapy for the cancer. C is the chimeric, A is the antigen, and the R is the receptor. R is the receptor. T cells is the white blood cells, जिसके थ्रू होगा. तो chimeric antigen receptor. अगर फुल फॉर्म देखोगे तो chimeric antigen receptor. And this therapy is specifically approved only for the leukemia till now. 4 टाइप हमने देखे थे, sarcomas, carcinomas, leukemias and the lymphomas. This is treatment for the leukemias. This is for the leukemias. So in the case CAR cell T cell therapy, which is for the developed by the IIT Bombay, and this is the chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy. This is an important topic for your prelims examination as well. There was a question in 2017 and 19, the CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR-Cas9 पे क्वेश्चन पूछा गया डायरेक्टली, व्हाट्स द CRISPR-Cas9. द सिमिलरली हियर वी कैन दे कैन आस्क दैट व्हाट इज द CAR T cell therapy एग्जैक्टली है क्या. They can also ask you about the chimeric DNA. So how this therapy works? So let's see how this CAR T cell therapy works. how this CAR T cell therapy works. The person जिसको कीमोथेरेपी दी गई है, who is suffering from the cancer, he is giving his blood. He is giving his blood here. Healthcare providing collect blood to the T cells. He is giving his bloods. From his blood, they will separate the T cells. That's the name why CAR T cell. They are separating the bloods from the T cells of the infectant bloods. They are modifying these T cells. These are T cells which are separated from the blood. They are modifying these T cells. These T cells are genetically altered to have the receptors of the chimeric antigen. Chimeric एंटीजन जिसको बोलते हैं, यहां पे अल्टर किया टी सेल्स को जिसके थ्रू अल्टर किया, दैट इज नोन एज काइमेरिक एंटीजन, जिसके बारे में हमने बात करी, काइमेरिक डीएनए, दिस आल्सो नोन एज काइमेरिक एंटीजन रिसेप्टर. दिस काइमेरिक एंटीजन रिसेप्टर्स अगेन इंट्रोड्यूस इनटू द बॉडी ऑफ द पर्सन. जो ये रिसेप्टर्स देख रहे हो आप इस सेल के ऊपर, दिस विल अट्रैक्ट द कैंसर सेल को अट्रैक्ट करेंगे. These receptors again introduced into the body, then the new CAR cell is introduced into the bloodstream. इंट्रोड्यूस करने से पहले कीमोथेरेपी दी जाएगी, कीमोथेरेपी देने के बाद दिस विल इंट्रोड्यूस एंड द साइकिल रिपीटेड एंड दे विल अट्रैक्ट द कैंसर सेल, एंड दिस इज लुक्ड एज अ सक्सेसफुल मेथड इन द केस ऑफ ल्यूकेमियाज. काइमेरिक डीएनए प्रेजेंट नहीं है, वो बनाया जा रहा है. काइमेरिक एंटीजन बनाया जा रहा है. काइमेरिक इज मींस दैट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ टू थिंग्स. दैट्स अ काइमेरिक डीएनए फ्रॉम द टू डिफरेंट प्लेसेस. उस तरीके से किया जाता है सो दैट दे कैन अट्रैक्ट द कैंसर सेल इनटू द ह्यूमन बॉडी. यस यस, हाँ, काइमेरिक एंटीजन रिसेप्टर्स जो ह्यूमंस. यस यस, यहाँ पे स्पेसिफिकली आपको समझना है, जो ये एडिशन हुआ, दिस इज द डीएनए ऑफ द ह्यूमंस, ठीक है, जो इफेक्टेड पेशेंट है. यहाँ पे मैंने न्यू एंटीजन डीएनए लगाया, दो लोगों का डीएनए यहाँ पे अटैच हुआ. दिस इज नोन एज द काइमेरिक डीएनए. दिस इज नोन एज द काइमेरिक डीएनए. ड्यूरिंग दिस प्रोसेस द एंटीजन इज अटैच्ड टू दिस डीएनए. Those will attract the cancer cell and that will again introduce into the body of the infected person and they will attract the cells. दोबारा इसको निकालेंगे and this looks as a very good successful method in the case of the blood cancer. जो दोबारा इंट्रोड्यूस करने से पहले हाँ, यहाँ पे जब इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया पहले कीमोथेरेपी दी गई ताकि नंबर ऑफ द कैंसरियस सेल विल डिक्रीज. आफ्टर गिविंग द कीमोथेरेपी दिस विल इंट्रोड्यूस, जो रिमेनिंग उनको ये अटैच करेगा, अटैच करके यहाँ से दोबारा निकाल लिया जाएगा. अगेन साइकिल रिपीटेड 2-3 टाइम रिपीट्स करके दिस साइकिल विल बी रिमूव फ्रॉम द बॉडी. दिस इज नोन एज द CAR T cell therapy and this is a very important for your prelims examination. Exactly what is the CAR T cell therapy? Chimeric DNA है क्या? तो ये डायरेक्टली पूछा जा सकता है. So with the immunotherapy, with the chemotherapy, with the radiotherapy, these are new kinds. The chimeric CAR T cell therapy, chimeric antigen receptor T cell therapy. Yes, remind this is only for the leukemia and approved in India. ठीक है, this is the CAR T cell therapy. इसके साथ साथ जो गवर्नमेंट का प्रोग्राम है आयुष्मान भारत प्रधानमंत्री जन आरोग्य योजना, जहां पे दे आर गिविंग द 5 लाख रुपी फॉर द इंश्योरेंस फॉर द दे आल्सो इंक्लूड डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ द कैंसर इन इट, डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ द कैंसर कॉजिंग डिजीज इन इट. तो उसके साथ साथ गवर्नमेंट ने क्या प्रोग्राम चालू किया है ये नहीं है. 5 लाख रिलेवेंट नहीं है, बट इफ यू आर डायग्नोज विद द प्राइमरी stage of the cancer, that can be the helpful, but the person those who are not having any money, the 5 lakh is much more for them. In that case it's a successful case, but later on it can be the number or the amount can be increased there. So next initiative, the first first cancer care initiative that is introduced into 2022, the cancer care initiative. एक तो हो गया कार टी सेल थेरेपी, इस ऑल्सो द गवर्नमेंट प्रोग्राम था आयुष्मान भारत. हाँ हाँ, लेकिन कैंसर का कंपोनेंट भी है इसमें. When we are looking at the treatment or which kind of the disease in it, there's a treatment of the cancer as well. Then in the case of the first cancer care initiative, State Illness Assistance Fund. Illness Assistance Fund. These are the few government schemes, these are the few government initiatives that has been started for the controlling the cancer in the country, and these are very useful initiatives. So these are required when you are writing a mains answer. The steps taken by the government to reduce the cancer patient in the country. तो उसके बारे में है specifically. Okay. So this is about the cancer in India. So we discuss about what exactly the cancer is, the number and data related to the cancer in the country. इसके साथ साथ the cancer क्या होता है, how it's spread into the human body, the different kind of the cancer therapy, the CAR T cell therapy. We also discuss the cause of the cancer in the country and the way forwards, the steps taken by the government. Any doubts in it? Shivani, Pratibha, Devagraha, कोई डाउट है आप लोग? Like in the age group of 50 to 59 years. रीजन स्टेट नहीं है अभी, ऐसा स्पेसिफिक नहीं है. हाँ, ट्यूमर इज द प्राइमरी स्टेज. प्राइमरी स्टेज जब वो स्प्रेड होना शुरू हो जाता है और पार्टिकुलर ऑर्गन को इफेक्ट करता है, दैट इज द, हाँ, उसको ट्यूमर बोला जाता है. यस, ट्यूमर इज द लाइक यहाँ पे सेल डिवाइड हो रही है कंटिन्यूअसली, दे आर डिवाइडिंग कंटिन्यूअसली, और यहाँ पे ग्रुप ऑफ सेल बन गया, इसको ट्यूमर बोल रहे हैं. नाउ द ट्यूमर इज ऑफ टू काइंड, बेनाइन एंड द कैंसेरियस. कैंसेरियस ट्यूमर इज द स्पेसिफिकली ट्यूमर जो आपकी बॉडी को इफेक्ट करता है, जिसको ब्रेन ट्यूमर बोल देते हो आप, लंग कैंसर बोल दे रहे हो, लिम्फ कैंसर बोल दे रहे हो, दैट्स अफेक्टिंग. यस, दैट्स अ मेजर कंसर्न. डायग्नोसिस इतना इजीली नहीं है, लाइक इन द केस ऑफ द प्रोस्टेट कैंसर ऑल्सो, आपको पता ही नहीं लग पाता इन द इनिशियल स्टेजेस की कोई सिम्टम भी है. तो वी नीड टू बी लुक एट द प्रिवेंशन मेथड में अगर हम बात करते हैं तो वी नीड टू बी लुक एट द अर्ली डायग्नोसिस. लाइक इन द यूएसए द स्टेज इज द 70 years. 70 years. But in the case India, it's a 59 years. In the 59 years, the government should make a method ki how they can diagnose in between 50 to 59. So early diagnosis is the major than prevention. तो diagnosis हो जाए. हाँ, डायग्नोसिस को लिए होना चाहिए स्पेसिफिकली, गवर्नमेंट इज वर्किंग ऑन इट. डायग्नोसिस अबाउट द कैंसर डिजीज, तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम नॉट इन द कैंसर बट ऑल्सो इन द अदर काइंड ऑफ डिजीज इन इंडिया. डायग्नोसिस इज नॉट दैट सक्सेसफुल कि अर्ली स्टेज पर डायग्नोसिस हो जाए एंड दे कैन हैव एन आइडिया अबाउट व्हाट्स एक्जेक्टली द डिजीज. सर, आई हैव लेस नॉलेज इन बायोलॉजी, कैन यू गाइड व्हाट्स बेसिक शुड आई स्टडी मोर रिलेटेड टू दिस टॉपिक? Related to this topic, you should know about the different kind of the cells, like the white blood cells क्या हैं, WBC, RBC, B cells, T cells, the DNA we discuss, the chimeric DNA, the CAR T cell therapy you will discuss, the type of the cancer you will discuss. This is the enough जो आज हमने पढ़ा है देवग्रह. This is the more than enough. If there any question in the your prelims, that can be easily answered from this discussion. इससे बाहर जाने की आपको जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, but focus on the basics of the biology. टी सेल्स क्या होते हैं, बी सेल्स क्या होते हैं, उसके बारे में आप देख सकते हैं. ओके,
रीजंस फॉर डेथ रेट ज्यादा है, उसको तीन मेजर रीजंस ये हो सकते हैं. जैसे मान लीजिए एक तो कॉस्टली है, सबको अफोर्ड नहीं है, दूसरा कि प्रॉपर ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है कि 100% प्योर हो जाए. हां, तीसरा है कि डायग्नोसिस का पता ही नहीं लगना, मतलब मुझे है कि पता ही नहीं लगा तो और आगे बढ़ता नहीं है. हां, डायग्नोसिस टाइमली नहीं हुआ, अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है, और जहां पे भी अवेलेबिलिटी है वो सक्सेस रेट उतना नहीं है. दीज आर द मेजर रीजंस. कॉस्टली भी है तो अफोर्डेबल भी नहीं है. ठीक है,
So wait for the 2-3 minutes. Shabir sir will address you people for regarding the current affair classes. So wait for the 2 minutes. Okay, so we will meet on next Friday regarding the next topic related to it. If you people have any doubt related to cancer, you can ask me on the current affair groups. Notes of this topic I will share in the group, so you can download from there. Thank you very much for attending the classes. Thank you. Yeah.